T Speaks here, and I'm back with yet another story time. I told y'all do not sleep on me. I told y'all I was becoming more consistent. I told you I was dropping some new story times, and let's go ahead and get into it. But first, go ahead and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. Click that notification bell so that every time I drop some new fire, some new heat, my new videos. Oh, that was nasty. I spit. Excuse me. Coronavirus. Anyway, every time I drop some new fire, some new heat, y'all be one of the first people. Y'all be one of the first to know. So click that subscribe button. Make sure you like my video. Drop down in the comment section below. Let's talk about it, baby. Let's talk about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. As you guys have seen on my title, we're going to talk about my experience with Starbucks. I know I've hinted around before in a lot of my previous vlogs that I did work for Starbucks a very long time ago. And I just wanted to do a little quick story time on my experience there. Now, mind you, I'm not doing this to bash Starbucks. I'm not doing this to tell everybody's business, to tell any secrets, recipes, anything of that nature. I'm telling you about my experience. And I said what I said, my experience, okay? I'm not gonna give you guys any names. I'm not gonna give you guys any locations. I'm just gonna tell you what it is and what it was, okay? All right, let's get into it. Now, I started working at Starbucks. Actually, Starbucks was my first job. So let me tell y'all how this started out, how the whole Starbucks situation started out. So I started working at Starbucks we had a Starbucks inside of our Super Target. One of the first ones in our location. I was about in, I was in the 9th grade going to the 10th grade. We had a Super Target. Like, everybody was like, what the heck, a Super Target? So this had to be around 2005. I want to say 2004, 2005. Don't quote me on it. Don't question my age because that's not your business unless I tell you. Anyway, let me stop. So it had to be like around 04, 05. So I think I was transitioning between 9th and 10th grade, still in high school. We went to the Super Target, my mom and I saw that they were hiring. I wanted a job. Now, mind you, I was 15 years old. In order to start working at Target, you had to be 16. So I applied anyway because I was like, my birthday's coming up soon. It's the summer. My birthday's late June. Never know, okay? I was just applying. At that point, I was really wanting a job. So I just went ahead and applied and, let it go. So I actually applied for the job and I got a call back. I want to say like a week or two later. Got a call back and they said, hey, come in, we want to do an interview. So I'm like, okay, boom, interview me, okay. So I did, went in, got my interview, did my interview. They loved me. Who wouldn't? I mean, come on, like all of this personality. I mean, you are watching me right now. Of course you're gonna like me. Anyway, so I did the interview. They called me back I want to say either the end of that day or I think the very next day. They ended up calling me, and they called me and they let me know that they really liked me. They really wanted me to come work there. However, they noticed that I didn't meet the age requirement. They were like, we see that you're still 15. How soon will it be until you become 16? I was like, I think it was like maybe, I want to say 2 months, less than 3, more than 1. Like, so 1, 2, 3, one of those months until I turned 18. Not 18, excuse me, 16. So they were like, oh, okay. Well, since we really liked you, the person who interviewed you really liked you, he really wants you to work there, we're more than willing to wait. Yes, I said it, wait. We're willing to wait until you turn 16 and have you call back when you turn 16 that same week. Give us a call, let us know. We'll get you processed and get you on in here so you can start. So I was like, well, dang, I didn't know they did that. Like, I was mature for my age at that time, so I knew some stuff, but like, I didn't think that they would really wait and hold the job for me. It's summertime, they need people. Typically, like a lot of high school students are getting jobs in, and I was like, they really wait for me? Okay, all right. Favor ain't fair, remember that. Anyway, so I called them once my birthday. I think it was like the day after my birthday. I called them. I turned 16. Called them, let them know my name, situation. It's like, oh yeah, we've been waiting on you to call us, blah, blah, blah. So I think what they did was they said they had to give me a drug test. They did the drug test. I don't do drugs, so I was fine. So I did the drug test, and then after the drug test, they had me do the orientation. I think the orientation was like 1 day, 1 to 2 days, maybe 1 or 2 days, whatever. Don't quote me. And then I started. Now, Let me back up real quick. When they offered me the position, when I actually called during my birthday week, they said, well, we do have a position for you. However, it's going to be at Starbucks. I had no idea what the heck a Starbucks was. They're like, is that okay? I was like, I don't know what it, in my head now, in my head, to have my professional voice on. In my head, I was like, Starbucks? I don't care. I don't know what that is, but I don't care. I need some coins. I need to buy my school clothes, my school shoes. I don't care. It's a job. I don't care. So my professional voice, oh, absolutely, sure, that works just fine. Sure, I have no problem with that. Mind you, I didn't know what Starbucks was. I didn't know what it consisted of. I had no idea. So of course, back over to after work orientation and my drug test. So I did that, do those two, got those knocked out. And I think I started like maybe the week after that. And I think it was like, I want to say July. Because my birthday was the end of June. So it had to be like early to mid-July. So I started working there and they, you know, it's inside of Starbucks. So I had to go and do my own little training with Starbucks that was inside of the Target. Got my uniform, just had to wear my black shirt, khakis, whatever. So started working at Starbucks. I was like, oh, it's coffee. Okay, it can't be, I mean, it can't be that hard, right? It's coffee. Like, I see my grandma drinking it all the time. I mean, I see people drinking coffee. It doesn't seem like that difficult. You make it, you pour it, you drink it, right? Boom. Wasn't I wrong? Let me tell you something. Never underestimate a job that you're going into. Never underestimate it. Not saying it was hard, but it was just took some work. Okay, so I go ahead and start and go ahead and go to the Starbucks. Start working there. You have to learn all the drinks. Like, that's part of the training. You have to learn all the drinks, what they are, what comes in them, how to make them, how to mark them on the cups. Like, you know, you guys go to Starbucks and they usually like have their cups and they mark it. So you have to learn that. You have to learn how to make them. And you also have to learn the cash register. Did all that, learned all that. Let me tell you something. You learn a lot when you start a new job. So I had to learn how to make the drinks. Mind you, it's my first job. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm scared. I'm nervous. So I learned how to make like the frappuccinos and how many scoops of this and how many pumps of that. Listen, they had a whole Bible, literally a whole binder this big, full of all the recipes. They had the recipe names, the way you describe them on a cup, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I made flashcards. I was in school. By the time school started, I was still in school with my flashcards, trying to remember, okay, this is how you write this on the cup. This is how you do this. This is how many pumps goes in here. This how many scoops goes in this. Like, y'all, it was a lot to absorb. On top of that, by then school started. So it was like, I need my job. I'm about my coin, okay? Always have been about my coin. So I was, you know, paying attention in school, but still trying to, like I said, get that job, get that coin. So I need to learn my stuff. So I ended up working there for about 2 years. Worked there about 2 years. I think it was longer. No, I ended up working there for about 2 years. And I think by the time I got 18, I was like, oh, I think I want to go to a Starbucks, an actual Starbucks, because at the Target Starbucks, you couldn't get tips. You didn't really get the options, like the benefits that you got from working at a regular Starbucks. And me as a high school turning 18, I'm like, oh, they get tips, they get this, they get that. Okay, let's go ahead and, you know, let me think about going into an actual Starbucks. And I wasn't the only person that was thinking that. A lot of other people who were working there who were about my age were like, yeah, they get way more benefits there. You just have to be 18. So I think I ended up leaving working there. And what happened? I ended up leaving working there. I'm not going to go into detail as to why. I'm not even going to go there today. We're not going to go there. We're not going to do that. That's another story time for another day. Anyway, I ended up working another place, and then after I worked at this other place, I think I worked at the candy. Yeah, I worked at the candy. This candy place has nothing to do with the story. Worked there for a couple months, and then I had applied for Starbucks. So once I applied for Starbucks, I had to do 2 interviews. 2 interviews. I don't know what's up with these jobs. Like, okay, I can see if it's a corporate job, like a corporate business, something way up there on the totem pole. But like these little customer service, retail jobs have some nerve. Beg people do 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. interviews. It's a little much for me, okay? And if you're gonna do them, why can't you just do them back to back? Why do I have to come in, stress out, do my interview, talk to you, pretend like I like you, pretend like I'm friendly and nice, which I am, and then leave, come back another 2 or 3 days, meet somebody else, answer the same questions, pretend like I'm nice and cute, which I am, and then bam, you let me know if you want me to hire me. No, one and done. Anyway, at that time I was living in a different city from the city I originally lived in where I grew up at, so about maybe 20-30 minutes, so it wasn't a big deal. So I ended up applying for the Starbucks, like I said, did an interview, did 2 interviews, one with the store manager and one with like another supervisor there, I believe. Yeah, one with another supervisor there. So what ended up happening was I was getting hired to work at a new location. So the location wasn't complete yet, wasn't done. So I ended up, what happened was I ended up working at an already established location, me and a couple other people. So I interviewed for that with that supervisor because I was gonna work under her, but I worked and learned and trained because they have a completely different training process. Like, you would think if freaking Target Starbucks was Starbucks and freaking Starbucks sell the same things, it was completely different. The prices are different. I won't say the recipes are completely different, but their standards are different. And it was just like, it's not that serious. It's just coffee and tea, okay? It is not that serious. It's not all that. But anyway, so like I said, I started working there, worked there for like 2 or 3 months, and then started over to work in my store, my brand new store, brand spanking new. Now that was cool. I won't say it was bad. It was cool because everything was brand new, spotless. But Starbucks, y'all, the people that they have working for them. Because what happened is when we got to the new location, we had people who had been working for Starbucks for years. And we also had brand new people who work at Starbucks. So you had the people who've been there forever who were like, Starbucks is my life. I love Starbucks. I will die for Starbucks. And I'm like, you need to chill. Versus me, my group was like new people. And like majority of us were under 25, I would say. So you got these old heads and then you got these young people, and they were just like, Starbucks is the way to go. And I'm like, chill. I'm in school. This is not, that was almost my thing. This is not my final destination. I'm just here to get my coin and my tip, okay? So I can tell you about that one store. Mind you, I've worked in several different stores for several different reasons, which is one good thing about Starbucks. You can go to different locations and work. But this particular location, I was working there, and I worked with this one guy. I'm gonna name him John. John was crazy. John was he was in the military, but I think he got like discharged because he had like asthma or something. Like nothing like I'm not trying to downplay what he did in the military, but he like didn't like go there and get his arm blown off, or you know, his knee was fractured and he could no longer walk the same. It wasn't nothing like that. He allegedly got asthma while he was in there. And I'm not downplaying asthma because I got a little touch, but come on now. But he made it seem like he was just big macho guy, and I work out, and I'm a military dude. That's literally how he talked. He was crazy as hell. I don't know where Starbucks found this guy at. What? I don't know. PTSD is not even, Lord. Something was wrong with him. Let me just leave it like that. So he just thought, you know, he was a big macho man, and he would sit around and tell people, yeah, you work for me. You work for me. You're my worker. Hold the hell on. Who are you talking? Now me, okay, I'm gonna be transparent with you guys. At that age, 18, 19-ish, right out of school, listen, you think my mouth is reckless at the age that I'm at, in my early 30s. Baby, listen, I said whatever and I meant it. And I said what I said, and I was right, direct, and just let you know. I was terrible. Thank God for growth. But listen, I used to let him know, listen, I don't work for you. I work for Starbucks. Now, what you gonna do is you gonna calm it down. So he would be do weird like things like stand over, you be making the drinks or whatever, customer standing there. Mind you, we're still new, so I get it. You want to make sure we're doing things right. But he would like stand over you. Yeah, that's how you do it. And he would call people Hoss. Yeah, Hoss. I need you to go over there and sweep up that napkins up off the floor, Hoss. Hey, Hoss, I need you to go check out the bathrooms. I'm gonna get into the bathrooms. We're gonna get into that. We're gonna get into that. But like he was just crazy. Like, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know if somebody said something in his drink, if his mama stood in front of the microwave too long when she was pregnant with him. I don't know, okay? But that's the kind of stuff I had to deal with. But on the flip side, you got your free, while you were working, you were able to get free drinks. I think it was like 30 minutes before you were working, 30 minutes after. Mind you, this is over 10 years, so I could be wrong. So don't drop down in the comments with all the, you wrong, that ain't right. I don't care. It's been over 10 years, okay? I still have my nightmares about this place, so I'm gonna tell my story. Anyway, I think it was like 30 minutes before you work, 30 minutes after, and while you're working, you can get free drinks. Drink as many drinks as you want, hot, cold, whatever. And then also your weekly like allowance, which you could get like a pound of free coffee, like whole bean pack of coffee per week as your benefit to work there, and or like a pack of tea. Like they would have like a pack of tea that you could take. So I didn't, at that time, I wasn't really like a straight up coffee drinker. So I would just get my benefit because it was mine. I got one per week, and I would just keep it. I kept it. So when I ended up leaving Starbucks, I had like 50 bags of coffee, and that wasn't like me getting them every week. Sometimes I would forget, but whatever. Anyway, so I worked there for like a couple of months, and then around that time, it was like 2008. So there was like the recession situation going on. I didn't know much about it because I was still a kid myself, okay? I had no car, and really had no assets. I was just going to school and working and minding my business. So I didn't really understand the excuse me, let me slow down. Recession. So it did hit a lot of companies, Starbucks being one of them. Starbucks ended up, no, this is before then. My bad. They closed this location down. So mind you, the location I worked at with the brand new location was like less than 5 miles away from the location that I originally started training at, the older location. So it was at a mall. So for some reason, I don't know why, but they didn't do it that well. So they only were open like 2 or 3 months, literally tops. So they closed it down, and they gave us the option of transferring to another location. You can always, hey, we're closing down, we're gonna transfer to another, you can transfer to another location if you want. So I was like, okay, cool. Now at that time, it had kind of worked out for me because, like I said before, I was living in a different city. However, things transpired to where I needed to move back to my, back home. Like I said, it was maybe a 15, 20-minute drive distance, so it wasn't a big of a deal. So I ended up applying, well, not applying, but like, yet again, another freaking interview, Starbucks and other interviews. I had to go and interview to transfer to another location. Does that make sense? Because it don't make sense to me. You already know what I can do. I've been working here for all this time. I'm on the payroll. Why I gotta do a second interview? Why I gotta do another interview, period? I have to do an interview for the same position in a different location. Make that make sense. Anyway, so I interviewed at a location that was closer to where I was staying at because I moved back home. And it was perfect location. So I was like, you know what? Cool, let me interview. I went up there, interviewed, whatever. Now, they should have told me about this manager before I got there. This is where things start to go downhill with Starbucks. Mind you, I told y'all, I'm only like 18, 19. I'm young, So I started working at this location. I'm not gonna tell you the manager name, but he know who he is. For some reason, it's always the short men that I always have issues with. Okay. I'm just gonna let that go. But every time it's an issue, it's always a short guy. I'm just gonna leave it like that. Anyway, I got there, and this boss, he was horrible. Like, I'm not even complaining. I'm not even a complaining type person. But this dude was, he was like horrible. He was an extreme prima donna, extreme, like ridiculous. He thought that talking to people on a regular, common, even tone was not okay. He would talk, he was about 4'11", maybe. I'm being generous. Now I'm 5'11", okay? I'm a big mama, big girl, stallion. Anyway, I don't know if maybe he had some type of Napoleon syndrome or what. But homeboy used to talk to us like reckless dogs. Hey, I need you to go over here and do that. Hey, I need you to go to, who in the hell are you talking to? My mom don't talk to me like that. And I think I might have said that on occasion, which is one of the reasons why I ended up transferring from them. But whatever. Anyway, he was horrible. Like, he would just like talk to you in kind of way, hey, you need to go on your break. Or hey, why are you here today? Oh, well, you said 2 days ago I was able to, you know, switch my schedule with so-and-so. Oh, okay. Well, I didn't think you were working today. I need some strong people on my floor working with me. Excuse me? Okay. I dealt with it because, like I said, the location was great. I didn't have a car at the time, so I was, me working at that location, being closer to home, I was literally able to just have to take one bus there. Like, I think it was like maybe $1 or so. One bus there, one bus back. And $1 a day was a lot cheaper than when I was doing at the other location. I was taking like more than one bus, and it was just a nightmare. It was a mess. And it was just whatever. You can't work certain hours because the bus didn't run certain hours. This location was better because even if I didn't catch the bus, I was close enough where I could have just walked. So I just did that. And then I noticed, like, after I had to get him straight a couple of times, homeboy, I'm gonna call him Grinch. I had to get homeboy straight a couple of times because he had come at me like wrong. Now, mind you, working at Starbucks, they have some tight rules. Number one, you cannot have nail polish. You can't have any type of nails. You cannot have any perfume on because they feel like the perfume is going to affect the taste of the coffee. Whatever. The nails, like I said, you can't wear nails because they said it's unsanitary because you're, you know, making you drinks or whatever. So you could not do that. You couldn't have any tattoos showing or any other piercings outside of like your ears unless it was for like religious reasons. I'm trying to think of the other ridiculous rules they had. You can't call out. So basically, if you were sick or you just didn't feel like, you know, you couldn't make it, you had something that came up, emergency, whatever, you were on your deathbed, it doesn't matter. You're not allowed to call out. Their thing is you have to find somebody to cover your shift. That's their thing. So if I'm sick, I'm laying up here and I'm about to die and I got to be to work in 10 minutes. No, I think you have to tell them within like 30 minutes. I want to say like an hour, 30 minutes. I don't know. I could be wrong, but I think it was somewhere around there. You can't just say, hey, I'm not feeling well. I can't come in. I got to call out like any normal job. You literally have to either call them on the phone, call the store, get a list of people's numbers who are not working, see if they can switch with you or just take the whole shift yourself, or you can call them if you have your number on your phone, and then it's up to them, whoever, if they want to take your shift or not, and that's if they want extra hours or not. So if not, you're screwed. You have to come to work sick, you have to come to work if you have a family emergency, you have to come to work either way. That's ridiculous, but that's how they do things over at Starbucks. Anyway, so I worked, like I said, I worked in that location for a while. And then they had one coming downtown. Now this one downtown was like a little kiosk area. It was super small, but it was like literally 20 feet walking, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 20 feet away from another Starbucks, which was a full location. They had been there for a while, but it was so busy because it was like a touristy area, downtown area. So they, downtown shops area, they had shops, restaurants, whatever. So they opened up like a little kiosk, and that kiosk that opened till like, midnight on the weekend. Midnight, did I say midnight? A coffee shop stay open till midnight. And then they opened at like 10. Yes, the coffee shop opened at 10 o'clock, 10 a.m. Mind you, they still had another one across the way, but yeah, whose smart idea was that? I don't know. Anyway, so I would go out there and help like I did before, except it was the opposite way. I wasn't new. I was helping train the new people, and they also just needed people who had already had the experience just to come out there, work a couple hours. So I was working both at the location where little Grinch was at, and I was also working downtown. Mind you, taking the bus to get downtown to help get extra hours, and they also needed people who were already trained and, you know, ready to go. Because you can't really run a store with just untrained people. It would just be a nightmare. So I did that. I was working like crazy. Like I was working like my good 40 hours. I was doing 40 hours. I was trying to get a car. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna do what I gotta do. I'm gonna work whatever I gotta work. So sometimes, some days, literally I would work like the first, like I'll do like 7 to 3 at one location, leave there, head over to the new location and work from like 6:30 to midnight or something like that. Like I was grinding. I was grinding. So I got to that location, like I said, and it was cool. It was cool, laid back. They had music. They would come out and play on the weekends, and people would come out, people be drunk, but they still want coffee. So I'm like, okay, cool. They had a little movie theater, little teenagers coming out. Hey, can I get a frappuccino? Can I get like 12 caramel frappuccinos? All that. It was cool. I liked it. I really enjoyed it. The atmosphere was cool. The boss was really cool. He wasn't anything like the Grinch. The complete opposite. And I just really liked that. I really enjoyed the environment. I liked to be downtown. It was cool. So I worked there, back and forth, both locations. And then eventually the boss at that downtown location was like, well, hey, listen, I got some space. You know, I need more people. See if you can transfer. I know that one's closer to you, but you're making more money here. I have all the hours to pay you. I was like, yes, absolutely. But he was like, you're going to have to talk to Grinch. I'm like, okay, fine. I talked to Grinch. I talked to Grinch about it. And pretty much just laid it out there. I'm like, listen, you rude. I can't take it no more. I'm getting more hours here. I'm at your location. I'm not even getting hours. You're talking to me like I'm a dog, like I'm your child. And I'm, you know, going to transfer. He didn't want to let me transfer. Excuse me? Oh, okay. So I remember calling that day. I remember calling the boss to the downtown location and telling him like, hey, Grinch won't let me transfer. And he was like, what? I've never heard of such. Yeah. Well, this just happened today. This just then. So he ended up talking to him or whatever. They made some agreement, and I ended up working at that location downtown. Worked there for a couple of months because they weren't open. I think they were open maybe a year because I was jumping the gun earlier when the recession hit. That location was one of the ones to end up shutting down. But I ended up being able to become a supervisor at that location. I met some really cool people at that location. I had fun there. And it was cool. Like I was a supervisor. I was able to get my first car with that job and another job I had at the time. It was cool. I liked it. I became a supervisor. I was training, coach, all that. It was good. It was like the prime of my Starbucks experience of working there. I was able to, you know, get the experience that I needed, like as far as being a leader, be around different types of people. It was cool. I really enjoyed that location. But of course, the recession. Why I keep saying reception? Oh, because my friend, never mind. None of y'all business. Anyway, because I'm going to vlog it. It's not your business. Anyway, so my very last store was maybe less than 10 minutes away. It was still in downtown location, but it was less than 10 minutes away from the location that I was at. It was like a little kiosk, like I was saying. Because they closed the kiosk down. They gave you the option if you want to go to another store locally or if you wanted to get a severance package and just quit. Of course, that was difficult. I was like, I want a severance package. Just get me up out of here. Because y'all closing down locations and stuff. And I done been through all this to get up in this store, in this company. And y'all gonna do this to me? Anyway, long story short, I was being dramatic. I ended up going to the location downtown, my last location for Starbucks. And that one was hell. Hell. Supervisor there, she was a Starbucks, I hate to say this word, Nazi. That was her life. That's all she lived, breathed, cared about was Starbucks. She had a husband, surprisingly, but she had a kid. That was her life. She was always at Starbucks. It was just, I'm Starbucks, hi! Girl, have a seat. Get you some decaf and have a seat, several. So started there. Things started off pretty smooth, but this was downtown. And this area of downtown was a little different from the other area of downtown, the shopping, everything, because this was mostly bars that were on the street and restaurants. They stayed open pretty late too, but listen, I've experienced the craziest stuff there. They had first of all, one employee there seemed like a cool girl to me. Again, we always trust people. She seemed cool, she seemed nice. One day, I remember her calling me, asking me, could she borrow some money? I was like, girl, I ain't got no money for you. What you mean, some money? We cool and all. I'll take your shit, you take mine. But lend you some money? Absolutely not. We both work and we both need our money. So she was like, oh, okay, it's all right. A week later, they said, oh, she got fired. I was like, why the girl got fired? Homegirl was in the bathroom shooting up. They found needles in the bathroom because homegirl was in the bathroom shooting up, okay? Mind you, a couple months later, they found a loaded pistol in the bathroom. Yeah. Let's get on the bathrooms real quick. Working at Starbucks was horrible because I had to clean the goddamn bathrooms. Excuse my language. Excuse me. I know I'm watching. I'm sorry. But mother, I had to say this because this is just too much. When y'all go to the bathroom in public, you need to flush the toilet. Number one, first of all, you need to make sure it gets in the toilet. Make sure whatever comes out of your body. Let me tell you something. This was something I was taught as a child. Okay, my mother. Whatever comes out of your body, nobody else should see it. People would do some nasty stuff in there. I've seen people peeing on the floor, peeing on the seats, won't flush the stool, crapping on the floor, crapping on the seats, crapping on the floor. Who's gonna pick that up? Not me. I don't get paid enough to do that. And even if I got paid enough to do that, I'm not doing it. That's not my job, okay? So we would, a part of the closing crew, which I was part of the closing crew, because I wasn't with that waking up, being there at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, because I was probably still coming from the club. I did it a couple times, but that's not nobody's business. Left the club and got straight down. Anyway, I did the closing crew. So a closing crew would consist of cleaning the whole entire store, top to bottom, cleaning the syrups, restocking the cups, mopping and sweeping the floors. Mind you, people will be standing over you, like while you're mopping and cleaning, telling you, you don't know how to mop, you don't know how to clean, let me do it. Do it, fine, that's on you. Restocking, just getting everything ready for the next day. One of the chores was to freaking clean the bathrooms. Mind you, I never wanted to clean the bathrooms. I never volunteered to do it. And if somebody asked me to do it, I would just have a freaking fit. I would have a hissy fit. A freaking hissy fit. Because it was disgusting. So let me tell you what I used to go in there and do. We had this spray, right? It was like the equivalent to bleach. So I'd go in there and take that spray. I would spray the hell out that bathroom. Just everywhere. Till I'm about to pass out myself. Okay? Spray it from head to toe with the bleach. Take some of the hot water. Pour it on top of where I poured the bleach. It's wet and dripping and I would leave. Listen, I know I ain't right. I know I'm not right. I clean my bathrooms the right way at home, of course. But there, it was just nasty and it wasn't worth it. So that's how I used to clean them. They'd be like, oh, you did such a great job. Oh, it just smells like bleach. That's it and that's all. That's all I did. Anyway, that was the worst freaking chore to do there. Another one would be like the customers. Let's talk about these customers real quick. So while I was working at this last location, like I said, this was the worst one. I remember like I remember a customer throwing a drink. So I remember customer ordered her drink or whatever, real prissy, real prima donna. This location had a lot of those prissy prima donna people, and a lot of people that worked like in the courthouse or like offices or whatever. So we knew a lot of people by name. A lot of people were cool. A lot of people come in, you know, have a quick conversation. Hey, I want you to make my drink, which a lot of them did it for me because I was the best. That's why they didn't like me, but it's okay. They still worked out. Anyway, one lady got mad one day and she decided, she was like, this is not what I ordered. I wasn't there that day. Because I had been there. Had I been there, I would have let her know. But, man, we don't do that here. Do that at your house. But she got upset. I think it was a cappuccino. So a cappuccino, if you don't know, Starbucks way is like this much milk, that much foam, like just a lot of foam. So it's very light, very airy. Mind you, a lot of people don't know what they order. They just go in there and order stuff because they think it's cute. Learn what you order before you go in there and make yourself look stupid, because we talk about you when you leave. Or at least I did when I worked there. So the lady ordered it, and of course she didn't know what she was doing. Her face was so tight. It was tight like this. She could barely breathe. She could barely even move her face. Can I get a cappuccino? So she apparently ordered a cappuccino. Mind you, I wasn't there. This is a story I was told. Ordered a cappuccino. She picked it up and she was like, oh, there's something in there. What is this? What is this? I can't drink this. Boom. Threw it at the guy that worked there. Now this guy who worked there, he was cool. He was like a cool guy. Really young. He was actually younger than me at the time. He was just cool, laid back. Like, you know, he was just there just to get his little coin. Like most of the people there who was that young was. And he just shook it off. He was like, oh, so I'm sorry. Listen, when I heard about that story, that she took a drink, hot drink, and poured it over the countertop, I was like, y'all better be glad I wasn't here, because I would have told her by herself. Now, moving along, this wasn't something that was like not normal. Customers would have hissy fits all the time. I've seen customers throw things. I've seen customers take their money and throw it. I've seen them show out. They'll be just cussing and screaming and yelling and carrying on, and it was just it was a freaking mess. Mind you, like I said, we still had customers that came in every day. We knew their name. They worked somewhere in the area. They were cool, but it was always those nasty, mean, rude customers. Like we had some customers, we had some homeless customers. Homeless customers had more respect for us and dignity than a lot of the people who actually came in there every day. Like, y'all be surprised. Be careful how you treat people. Be careful how you treat people, because some of those people, the ones with the money, some of them be the worst ones. Just nasty for no reason. When you go out somewhere and somebody's making your food or your drink, be respectful. Clean up after yourself. I can't tell you how many times I used to go out into the lobby and I would have to, like, you know, they would have like what's called like a 10-minute sweep, 15-minute sweep. And somebody would have to, no matter how busy it was, go out into the lobby and clean up. Because, you know, it's busy. People coming in and out. You making drinks, but it's, you know, you got to make sure it's clean because there's more people coming in and out. People would take their coffee and pour it in the garbage can. Don't pour your coffee in the garbage. If you know you need room in your cup, let somebody know. Tell people behind the counter, a barista, and they can pour it in the garbage can for you. It's that simple. No, people will pour their coffee in the garbage, and then of course you go take out the garbage and it's leaking all over the place. People would just eat and leave the plates there, leave the paper there, leave the crumbs and trash there. Like, you have no home training. Like, if you do that out in public, I feel like you do that at home. That's just me. So that would really piss me off. And then sometimes it would piss me off even more because people wouldn't like come and do the same thing every day. It's not like a one-off, like, oh, I didn't know any better. It'll be just people, it's like you take a muffin and just ball it up in your hand and throw it on the floor. Things like that. I was like, you know, this is too much. I can't do this. I would go clean it up, but I would be like, this, why? I would be like, I can't believe somebody would do something like this. Mind you, I was a little reckless. I can't believe somebody would do this. It's a line out the door. I can't believe somebody would do this. This is crazy to me. I don't understand. It was just craziness. So like I said, we were downtown. So I remember one time working New Year's Eve night, and we're busy. We're busy. We got, you know, people coming in and out. Frappuccino hell. Frappuccinos are annoying to make, people. Stop ordering them so much. That's how I used to feel. Now I have a frappuccino every now and again, but frappuccinos were the most annoying things to make there, just because it took so long. It took a lot longer than the espresso drinks, and it was just too much effort. I know I was getting paid to do it, but it was too much effort. So one girl came in. I remember New Year's Eve, we were busy. It was like 11, 12 o'clock, and a girl came. She was sitting there waiting for her drink with a guy, and she, out of nowhere, just fell out. Oh. And I was like, oh my goodness, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm like, oh my gosh, let me get the phone, let me call. I'm calling. Yeah, somebody just passed out in Starbucks, give address. What's the address? I don't know the address. Like, I couldn't even. Lord, when I tell you, this lady jumped up, she just got up off the floor, like nothing. The guy was like fanning her face, like, oh my gosh, come here, come back. She jumped up like Jesus rose from the dead. I tell you no lie. I'm still on the phone now. I'm like, well, she just got up, so I guess we'll need you. Bye. It was just that crazy. All the crazy stuff would happen in Starbucks. We used to have people coming in stealing our tip cups. I can't tell you how many times people called and said, well, came to like, called all the co-workers together and was like, did anybody remember last time they saw the tip cup? We'd be like, no. Well, it's missing. It's missing? What the hell you mean it's missing? Don't you have cameras in this place? No, we don't. Okay, well, you know what? Get the cameras and you find, once you afford some cameras, you put them cameras up and you find out who stole it. I ain't got time for it. Let me think what else craziness used to happen in freaking Starbucks. People would steal, everybody, let me tell you something, everybody steals. The least people you at least expect would steal, stole. It was, I remember an older lady came in, old lady. She knew what she was doing. I think she was like, I don't know what, she's from somewhere because she had an accent. I'm not going to say a specific place because I'm not trying to be disrespectful to anybody. She would come in and she would steal. Just steal sandwiches, steal chips, steal gum. Lady, do you need to be in Shady Pines? What's going on? I'm not here for this. I'm not security. I know I'm ranting on y'all, and it's not really a story time, but it is a story time, but just stick with me here. Starbucks just became too much for me. I don't even know. I think I just want to rant. But Starbucks became too much for me. I was a person that was like, I see these people coming in who work in offices, who work in courthouse, who work, you know, different little places, driver license place. And I was like, I want to be one of them. I'm tired of coming here every day, breaking my back, you know, burning my tongue, burning my hand, getting blisters, dropping stuff on my hands. Y'all not giving me no workers' comp. Y'all not telling me what workers' comp is, because I mind you, I'm still young. All these different accidents. I'm tired of this. Like, I got to the point where I was just tired of it. And I feel like, don't get me wrong, I know I went on a rant and I know I went crazy, but Starbucks is good for people for younger. I feel like for the younger generation, people who just want to get a job, get their feet wet, get some benefits, or like a little part-time gig. Starbucks is the place where you outgrow, and I feel like I just outgrew them. I knew that wasn't going to be my forever job, although they have a lot of people there who that's their forever job. No, not knocking it, just saying. But it was a job that I just outgrew. I appreciated the experience at the time and the opportunity, but I outgrew it. So I ended up eventually, like I said, applying for jobs of the office jobs. I ended up getting an office job. I think I was like a receptionist. Office job, being a receptionist. Now, mind you, I had been in Starbucks so long. I know I complained about it, but I was there so long, I was like, kind of felt bad for quitting. So I was like, well, you know what? I'll work in the afternoons after I get off work, and I work on the weekends. So I did that for a little while, on and off, on and off. And eventually I was like, I'm tired of this. I'm finna quit. So I quit, and it was bittersweet because, like I said, I started working at Starbucks when I was like technically 16. And I met a lot of people, a lot of good people. I met a lot of bad people. I met a lot of people who when I looked at them in their life and the way that they just loved this company so much. They couldn't do anything. Oh, y'all didn't see that. Anything without it, it was just like, I can't be that. I need to do something else, because I can't do this for the rest of my life. Like I said, some people loved it, some people enjoyed it, some people, it works for them, but it just didn't work for me, and I just want something else. I need something else. It was good while it lasted. Like I said, met good people, had plenty of free coffee, but it was just something that I outgrew it. After I quit Starbucks, I didn't go back there for years. Like, I was traumatized. I didn't go back there for years, but I tell you, some things that I did learn that I take with me is just like my customer service, like me dealing with customer service in general, just dealing with people who are in that field. Like, you know, if I'm paying somebody, a cashier or something, you can hand it to them. Going in the bathroom, use the bathroom, which is common sense, but not that common to everybody else. Clean up after yourself. You go out to eat somewhere, you know, clean up your mess, clean up your area. So I learned a lot of those life things from working there, and treating people with kindness, because those people are there. They're working long hours. They're trying to get their coin up. Like, people are trying to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like, people don't ask to be disrespected. People don't ask to be talked to any kind of way. And you just don't know what kind of day that person is having. So I always try to be respectful when it comes to things like that. Like, if I do go to a Starbucks now, 10 years later, or just anywhere, Dunkin' Donuts, McDonald's, whatever, just try to be respectful, because these people work hard. They work hard for their money. I worked hard for my money. Although that place gives me nightmares to this day, I worked hard for my money. And like I said, if it's something you want to do, don't let me deter you from doing it. But just know, you're going to get tried. It go try you. But it's all up to you and how you want things to go. So that's my story time / rant about Starbucks. Let me know your first job and what you learned from it. Do you still have nightmares from the place? Do you still go there, like, to visit and remind yourself that this is where I came from? Let me know. Drop down in the comment section below. Go ahead and smash that like button. Comment down below what your first job was. If you want to say hey, because I say hey girl, hey. And make sure you subscribe to my channel, and stay subscribed. Click that notification bell, because I'm going to be dropping more fire, more heat, more videos, more vlogs, more all of that. But you got to be subscribed so you can see. I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. Bye.